The irony cuts deep. A show called Good Times that brought joy and hope to millions has been shadowed by an unexpectedly long list of tragic farewells. From beloved main characters who defined the Evans family's resilience to memorable supporting players who enriched their world, death has claimed far too many faces from this groundbreaking sitcom. What was supposed to be television's celebration of African-American family strength has become a somber reminder of how fleeting our good times truly are. John Amos. John Amos brought dignity and strength to television as James Evans Sr., the hard-working father who anchored the Evans family on Good Times. His portrayal of a proud black man struggling to provide for his family while maintaining his principles made him a role model for millions of viewers during the show's groundbreaking run from 1974 to 1979. Born on December 27, 1939 in Newark, New Jersey, Amos first pursued football before finding his calling in entertainment. He played college football at Colorado State University and even had tryouts with professional teams including the Denver Broncos and Kansas City Chiefs. When his athletic dreams didn't pan out, he discovered his true talent lay in acting and writing. Amos got his big break playing weatherman Gordie Howard on The Mary Tyler Moore Show, which led to his starring role on Good Times. After leaving the sitcom due to creative differences with producers, he landed his most acclaimed role as the adult Kunta Kinte in the groundbreaking miniseries Roots in 1977. This performance earned him an Emmy nomination and cemented his place in television history. He continued working steadily in films like Coming to America and Die Hard 2, and later appeared in The West Wing as Admiral Percy Fitzwallace. John Amos passed away peacefully from natural causes on August 21, 2024, in Los Angeles. His death wasn't announced until October, when his son Kelly Christopher Amos shared the news with the world. Amos left behind a legacy of portraying strong, principled characters who challenged stereotypes and inspired audiences across generations. Esther Rolle. Esther Rolle created one of television's most beloved mother figures as Florida Evans, the heart and soul of the Evans family on Good Times. Her portrayal of a strong, religious woman who held her family together through poverty and hardship, while never losing her dignity or faith, became a powerful symbol of Black motherhood and resilience during the show's 6-year run. Born on November 8, 1920, in Pompano Beach, Florida, Rolle was one of 18 children in a Bahamian immigrant family. She moved to New York City in the 1950s to pursue acting, studying at the prestigious Actors Studio and working in theater productions. Her breakthrough came when she was cast as the housekeeper Florida on the Norman Lear sitcom Maude, a role that showcased her natural warmth and strength. The character of Florida proved so popular that Lear created Good Times specifically around Rolle's performance, making her the first African-American woman to star in her own television series. She won an Emmy nomination for her work and became a household name across America. After Good Times ended, Rolle continued acting in films and television, including roles in Summer of My German Soldier and I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Esther Rolle died on November 17, 1998, just 9 days after her 78th birthday. She had been battling complications from diabetes for several years before her passing. Rolle's legacy lives on through her groundbreaking portrayal of a mother who showed that strength and grace could coexist even in the face of overwhelming challenges. Jeanette Dubois. Jeanette Dubois brought sass, humor, and heart to Good Times as Willona Woods, the Evans family's outspoken neighbor who became like a sister to Florida and a second mother to the children. Her character provided comic relief while also tackling serious issues, especially when she adopted the abused young girl Penny Gordon during the show's later seasons, showing viewers the power of chosen family and community support. Born Jeanette Teresa Dubois on August 5, 1945, in Brooklyn, New York, she grew up in a musical family and developed her talents early. She studied at the High School of Music and Art in Manhattan before pursuing acting professionally. DuBois was also a gifted singer and songwriter, talents that would serve her well throughout her career in entertainment. Beyond Good Times, DuBois made her mark across the entertainment industry in ways many people never realized. She co-wrote and performed the theme song for The Jeffersons, the iconic "Movin' On Up" that became one of television's most recognizable opening songs. She also won 2 Emmy Awards for her voiceover work on the animated series The PJs, proving her versatility as a performer. Her film appearances included roles in Charlie's Angels Full Throttle and several other productions. Jeanette DuBois passed away suddenly on February 17, 2020 at her home in Glendale, California. She died of cardiac arrest at the age of 74, leaving behind family and friends who described her as full of life until the very end. DuBois will be remembered for bringing joy and authenticity to every role she played, creating characters that felt like real people you'd want as neighbors. Johnny Brown. Johnny Brown became a fan favorite on Good Times as Nathan Bookman, the well-meaning but often bumbling building superintendent who tried to keep order in the Evans family's housing project. His character brought both humor and humanity to the show, portraying a working-class man who genuinely cared about his tenants, even when his repair skills left much to be desired, making him a beloved comic relief who never felt like a joke. Born on June 11, 1937 in St. Petersburg, Florida, Brown grew up with dreams of entertaining people. He started his career as a nightclub performer, working alongside his future wife, June Russell, in musical acts throughout the 1950s and early 60s. His big break came when he joined the cast of the sketch comedy show Laugh-In the early 1970s, where his natural comedic timing and warm personality made him a standout performer. Before Good Times, Brown had already established himself as a versatile entertainer who could sing, dance, and make people laugh. His work on Laugh-In led to the Good Times role when producer Alan Meinings brought him to the Norman Lear series in 1975. Brown also appeared in films including The Out-of-Towners and made guest appearances on numerous television shows like The Jeffersons and Family Matters throughout his long career. Johnny Brown died on March 2, 2022, after collapsing following a routine doctor's appointment for his pacemaker. He went into cardiac arrest and was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital in Los Angeles. Brown's legacy lives on through his ability to bring joy and laughter to millions while creating characters that felt genuinely human and caring. Ben Powers. Ben Powers joined Good Times during its final season as Keith Anderson, the professional football player who married Thelma Evans and brought new hope to the family's future. His character represented the possibility of breaking free from the housing projects through education and athletics, though the show also tackled serious issues when Keith suffered a career-ending injury right after their wedding, showing how quickly dreams could be shattered. Born Alton Adelbert Powers on July 5, 1950 in Brooklyn, New York, he was raised by his grandparents in Providence, Rhode Island. Powers originally studied painting and sketching at the prestigious Rhode Island School of Design before discovering his passion for performing. He began doing stand-up comedy in Providence clubs, incorporating his talents as a pianist and vocalist into his routines, which eventually caught the attention of a Hollywood talent agent. Powers got his break in entertainment when he joined the revived version of Laugh-In 1977, working alongside future stars like Robin Williams. After Good Times ended, he became a regular on the detective series Mickey Spillane's Mike Hammer from 1984 to 1985, playing the character known as Moochie. He also appeared in several films including Cheech and Chong's Next Movie, and made guest appearances on popular shows like Gimme a Break and The Greatest American Hero. Ben Powers died on April 6, 2015 at the age of 64 from liver cancer. He passed away in New Bedford, Massachusetts, surrounded by his family. Powers will be remembered for bringing dignity and charm to every role he played, creating characters that felt authentic and relatable to audiences. Moses Gunn. Moses Gunn brought dignity and complexity to Good Times as Carl Dixon, the shop owner who became Florida's second husband after James Evans died. His character represented hope for a new beginning, while also creating dramatic tension as Florida struggled with moving on from her first love. And the storyline showed viewers how families could rebuild and find happiness again even after devastating loss. Born on October 2, 1929 in St. Louis, Missouri, Gunn grew up during the Great Depression and discovered his love for acting while serving in the Army. After his military service, he studied drama at the University of Kansas and later honed his craft at various theater companies across the country. His deep, commanding voice and powerful stage presence made him a natural for both dramatic and authoritative roles throughout his career. Gunn established himself as a respected character actor long before joining Good Times, appearing in major films like Shaft, where he played the memorable villain Bumpy Jonas. He also had notable television roles, including Jebediah Nightlinger on The Cowboys and appearances on Little House on the Prairie. His film work included playing Chiron in The Never-Ending Story and Booker T. Washington in the acclaimed movie Ragtime, showing his range as both a dramatic and character actor. Moses Gunn died on December 16, 1993, at the age of 64, from complications related to asthma. He had been battling respiratory problems for several years before his death. Gunn's legacy lives on through his powerful performances that brought strength and authenticity to every character he portrayed, whether playing heroes or villains with equal conviction. Theodore Wilson. Theodore Wilson brought both menace and unexpected depth to Good Times as Marion Sweet Daddy Williams, the flashy neighborhood numbers runner and loan shark who operated in the Evans family's community. His character showed the complex reality of street life in the projects, portraying a man who could be dangerous and intimidating, but also had moments of genuine humanity, giving viewers a realistic look at the people who existed on the margins of society. Born Theodore Roosevelt Wilson, he grew up understanding the streets that he would later portray so convincingly on television. Wilson developed his acting skills through various theater productions and smaller television roles before landing his recurring part on Good Times. His natural ability to switch between threatening and charming made him perfect for playing characters who lived in the gray areas between right and wrong. Beyond Good Times, Wilson appeared in several other Norman Lear productions, showing his versatility as a character actor. He had notable roles in Roll Out, where he played high-strung, and he appeared in Sanford Arms as Phil Wheeler. Wilson also played Earl Chambers in the sitcom That's My Mama, proving he could handle both comedy and drama with equal skill. His performances always felt authentic because he understood the characters he was bringing to life. Theodore Wilson died tragically young on July 21, 1991, at the age of just 47. He suffered a stroke that cut short what should have been a much longer and more productive career. Wilson's legacy reminds us that even actors who played smaller roles could bring incredible depth and realism to their performances, creating memorable characters that stayed with audiences. Helen Martin. Helen Martin added authentic neighborhood flavor to Good Times as Wanda Williams, one of the other residents living in the Evans family's apartment building. Her character represented the kind of colorful neighbor that everyone recognizes from their own community, bringing both gossip and genuine concern for her fellow tenants, and showing viewers that even in tough circumstances, people still looked out for each other in their own ways. Born on July 17, 1909 in St. Louis, Missouri, Martin lived through nearly the entire 20th century and brought decades of life experience to every role she played. She began her entertainment career relatively late in life compared to many actors, but her natural ability to portray wise, sharp-tongued characters made her a sought-after performer for television and film roles that required authenticity and depth. And Martin became best known for her starring role as Pearl Shea on the hit sitcom 227, where she played the building's elevator operator and unofficial neighborhood watchdog. Her performance on that show made her a household name and proved she could carry major storylines with both humor and heart. She also appeared in several films including Death Wish, Doc Hollywood, and Night Angel, often playing characters who were tough on the outside but caring underneath. Helen Martin died on March 25, 2000 at the age of 90 after suffering a heart attack. She had enjoyed a remarkably long life and career that spanned several decades of American entertainment. Martin's legacy lives on through her ability to bring wisdom and authenticity to every character she portrayed, creating memorable people who felt like they could be your own neighbors. Marilyn Coleman. Marilyn Coleman appeared on Good Times as Violet Bookman, the wife of building superintendent Nathan Bookman, bringing warmth and stability to her character's marriage, while showing viewers the importance of strong partnerships in working-class communities. Her appearances in episodes like Bye Bye Bookman and Willona the Other Woman demonstrated how couples could work through problems together, adding depth to the show's portrayal of family relationships beyond just the Evans household. Born on March 23, 1934, Coleman started her career as a singer before transitioning into acting when she moved to Hollywood in the late 1960s. Her musical background gave her a natural rhythm and timing that served her well in both dramatic and comedic roles throughout her career. She was married to jazz musicians, first Fred Allen and later Fred Coleman, which kept her connected to the music world even as she pursued acting. Coleman became recognizable to audiences through her memorable film roles, particularly playing Grandmama in the influential movie Menace to Society and Mrs. King in The Five Heartbeats. She also appeared in classic comedies like I'm Gonna Get You Sucka, and had television roles on shows including Lou Grant, The Love Boat, and The White Shadow. Her ability to play both tough grandmother figures and supportive community members made her a valuable character actor. Marilyn Coleman died on June 25, 2013, at the age of 79. She passed away peacefully, leaving behind a family that remembered her love of music and her generous spirit. Coleman's legacy lives on through her authentic portrayals of strong women who held their families and communities together with grace and determination. Richard Ward. Richard Ward brought emotional complexity to Good Times as Grandpa Henry Evans, James's estranged father, who had abandoned his family years earlier but eventually returned seeking forgiveness and a chance to be a grandfather to his son's children. His character tackled the difficult themes of abandonment, redemption, and second chances, showing viewers that family relationships could heal even after deep wounds and long separations. Born on March 9, 1915 in Glenside, Pennsylvania, Ward developed his acting skills through years of theater work before transitioning to television and film. He understood the weight that comes with playing characters who carried heavy emotional baggage, and his natural gravitas made him perfect for roles that required both strength and vulnerability. Ward's deep voice and commanding presence helped him portray authority figures and complex family patriarchs throughout his career. Ward appeared in several notable films that showcased his range as a dramatic actor, including playing the father in the Steve Martin comedy The Jerk, where he brought dignity to what could have been a simple comedic role. He also had a significant part in the acclaimed film The Learning Tree, where he played Booker Savage, demonstrating his ability to handle serious dramatic material. His television work included appearances on various shows where he often played wise elder figures or men grappling with their past mistakes. Richard Ward died on July 1, 1979, at the age of 64 from a heart attack. Tragically, he passed away just as Good Times was ending its final season, making his death particularly poignant for the cast and crew. Ward's legacy reminds us that redemption stories matter and that it's never too late for people to try making things right with their families. Carl Weathers. Carl Weathers appeared on Good Times as Calvin Brooks, playing the husband of a model who posed for one of J.J.'s paintings in an early episode titled The Nude. Though his role was brief, it came during the early days of his acting career, when he was transitioning from professional football to entertainment, and it helped establish him as a performer who could bring intensity and authenticity to even small parts on television. Born on January 14, 1948 in New Orleans, Louisiana, Weathers was a talented athlete who played football at San Diego State University before being signed by the Oakland Raiders as an undrafted free agent in 1970. He also played for the BC Lions in the Canadian Football League, but when his football career ended, he discovered his true calling was in front of the camera rather than on the field. Weathers became a major movie star through his iconic role as boxer Apollo Creed in the Rocky film series, starting with the original 1976 movie and continuing through 3 sequels. His performances as Rocky Balboa's rival-turned-friend made him a beloved figure in American cinema. He also starred in the action movie Predator alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger and later found success in the comedy Happy Gilmore as Chubbs Peterson. In recent years, he gained new fans through his role as Greef Karga in the Star Wars series The Mandalorian. Carl Weathers died on February 1, 2024, at the age of 76 from natural causes. His death marked the end of a remarkable career that spanned sports and entertainment. Weathers will be remembered as a performer who brought strength, charisma, and genuine warmth to every character he played, from small TV roles to major motion pictures. Gary Coleman. Gary Coleman appeared on Good Times as Gary, one of Penny Gordon's sharp-tongued classmates who brought both humor and attitude to his scenes. Though his role was small, it came during the period when Coleman was establishing himself as one of television's most recognizable child actors, and his natural comedic timing and memorable personality were already evident even in this brief appearance on the show. Born Gary Wayne Coleman on February 8, 1968 in Zion, Illinois, he was adopted as an infant and raised by loving parents who supported his early interest in performing. Coleman's small stature, caused by a kidney condition, made him appear younger than his actual age, which became both an advantage and a challenge throughout his career. He began acting in commercials and small television roles before landing his breakthrough part. Coleman became a household name and cultural icon through his starring role as Arnold Jackson on the hit sitcom Different Strokes, where his catchphrase, "What you talking about, Willis?" became one of the most quoted lines in television history. The show ran from 1978 to 1986 and made Coleman one of the most famous child actors of his generation. Unfortunately, like many child stars, he faced financial and personal struggles as an adult, including legal battles over his earnings and difficulty finding steady work as he grew older. Gary Coleman died on May 28, 2010, at the age of 42 from complications related to a brain hemorrhage caused by a fall at his home in Utah. Coleman's legacy reminds us of both the joy that talented young performers can bring to audiences and the importance of protecting child actors in the entertainment industry. Louis Gossett Jr. Louis Gossett Jr. appeared on Good Times in multiple roles, including Uncle Wilbert, Florida's brother who came from Detroit to check on the family, and as an older boyfriend of Thelma's in Season 2. His appearances brought gravitas and star power to the show, demonstrating how established actors could enhance storylines by playing family members and love interests who represented different paths and possibilities for the main characters. Born on May 27, 1936 in Brooklyn, New York, Gossett discovered his love for acting while still in high school, where a teacher encouraged him to audition for a school play. This early encouragement led to his Broadway debut at just 17 years old in the play Take a Giant Step, launching what would become one of the most distinguished careers in American entertainment. His deep voice and commanding presence made him a natural for both stage and screen work. Gossett became the first African-American man to win an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, earning the honor in 1983 for his powerful performance as Sergeant Emil Foley in An Officer and a Gentleman. He also won an Emmy Award for his role in the groundbreaking miniseries Roots, where he played Fiddler, a fellow slave who befriended Kunta Kinte. His long career included memorable roles in Iron Eagle, The Deep, and countless television productions where he often played mentors, military figures, and wise elders. Louis Gossett Jr. died on March 29, 2024, at the age of 87 from natural causes, leaving behind a legacy spanning more than 7 decades. Gossett's life and career exemplified excellence, breaking barriers and inspiring generations of actors while bringing dignity and strength to every character he portrayed.